Yokai Films. You might know us best from making the show you're watching right now. Chris and I are those mysterious tiny voices you hear asking people questions on the show.
Why the air quotes? Fill in the blanks, dude.
Once fall time hits, we definitely look forward to when we get to do spooky stuff for Zombie Army.
Clown! One, imp! Take off!
Being a production company, we spend a lot of money on gear, and we know that's not a luxury that a lot of you guys have. And so we wanted to be able to show you some lighting tips with things that you're already gonna have laying around that are gonna be pretty cheap. 2 work lights, a desk lamp, and a Beat to Hell clip lamp. There's 3 basic elements to lighting: your key light, your fill light, and your backlight. So your key light is really the main light that's going to draw focus to what you want your audience to look at. So an interview setting, that typically is a light that goes straight at the face, probably from behind the camera. In the haunt world, it can come from any angle. It can come from high, low. It's gonna be your main light in bringing the attention to where you want it to go. Fill light is kind of what I consider a supporting light. It can basically give general levels to a room, allow you to see basic detail in the room so it doesn't completely fall off darkness. A lot of times to create a fill light, people will bounce the light off the ceiling. We kind of do the opposite in the haunt world. We bounce it off the floor. It gives this kind of nice, creepy undertone to people's faces. It's like a subtler version of putting a flashlight and holding it to your face. The last light is a backlight, and it's called that for a reason. It typically is in the back of your scene, such as this one here. And that can carve out your scene, add depth to your shots, and oftentimes your key light can be your backlight. Yeah, that's all I got. So, this is our final lighting setup. We are pretty happy with it, and let's walk you through the breakdown. First things first, we figured out where I was going to attack. So that's kind of where you start. You kind of block where your action is going to be. This is where I was going to attack, so we started with our key lights. Boom! Put this gel on it with some clothespins and hung it from the top because we like that creepy top-down feel. Our fill. So this is simply a lamp that we stole off of John's desk. There is some poster board here and a dimmer so we can control the levels. We had 2 backlights. First one, we just threw it on the ground. This is a work light that we stole from the shop. Second one, we threw behind these slats here, the exact same kind of light. I like it when the backlight's kind of coming by their head, so we got it roughly up to my short head here. To finish it off and to add a little bit more of haze and kind of give it a little bit of that ghostly feel, we added a Hazer on the Ground by Froggy's Fog. I just point it at the wall, it hits it, gives this nice billowy feel, hits these lights, kind of gives it a glow, and we had all we needed for the scene.
We're gonna move into sound. You're never gonna find the perfect sound effect out of the box. You know, the only time I ever use that stuff is if, you know, we're doing Days of the Living Dead and I want to wipe, or a boing, anime swords. But those are the only things. First things first, we're going to do atmosphere or soundscaping. This is sort of the fill light of your sound design.
What you're about to hear, it's just a tiger growling. It's not even a particularly good recording of a tiger growling. I slow it down to about 40%. Okay, so it's like a lot more guttural. It's obviously extended over the course of a couple of seconds. And then I add a ton of reverb to it. Creepy, creepy. So you just put that at the lowest possible level underneath your scene. It just sort of gives your subconscious sort of something to chew on, like, ooh, that's no good.
That reinvention of sound effects also applies to things that are more cue-based, like impacts and hits, and things like that.
This is Chunks and Patrick. This we actually are using some camera audio, but this is all that was captured by the microphone. So you have to build the soundtrack off of that. There's a punch sound effect, like a library punch sound effect. It's fine. gives a little bit of an impact, but I think there's a way we can jazz that up a little bit more. I happen to have a sound effect that was called bone break. So a little crunch in there, a little extra crunch on the punch. Let's make it a little gross. Just called slime squishy loop. And this is, yeah, it does that for like 15 seconds. It's disgusting. Didn't do it too much, just a little bit, just a little bit. And you put it all together. You might not hear every little thing, but subconsciously you're going to be like, ugh.
One sort of non-sound effect that I've done that I use, you'll hear it on almost all of the Hell's Gate promos. The sound effect that leads into the logo at the very end of the video. Take the adventure. So what it is it's the sound effect of a giant vault door closing. Yeah? I took that sound, and instead of have it end with like a very hard thing, I wanted to sort of taper out. So I played it backwards, which sounds like this. Sounds kind of interesting. So took that and added the, old reliable reverb, and you have this. What is that? It's not anything specific, but it is something compelling to throw in there that feels like it lives in this world. There are no rules to lighting a haunt scene. There's no rules to soundscaping. Everything's just measured by, does it work or does it not work?
2 flashlights, and you just have a rave. It just needs to look cool, and you should just have fun with different techniques.
Our best successes have just come from taking sounds and lights and putting them places and see what they do.
2 small flashlights, get a piece of gel, and you just crinkle the gel. You just kind of create.
Once you follow those instincts and once you go down those rabbit holes, at the end of those rabbit holes are where you're going to have the most fun and find the most inspired solutions. So have fun out there. Yay! Anime sword!